Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another WWE Immortals video. In this video we talk about the annoying defense team that I decided to make last night. Now keep in mind, Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt actually loses value when he goes up higher in levels, but at low levels, he's extremely annoying to deal with. So we're going to look at our 4 defensive victories and check out the stats here. So as you can see, pretty much balanced damage, and look at the time, over 4 minutes spent trying to deal with these guys, and look at the damage taken. Bray Wyatt ended up getting KO'd, but the Big Shows, no. 41,000 damage taken from Enlightened Big Show and 44,000 from Lumberjack Big Show. Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt still ended up taking 32,000 damage, but the bulk of the damage was from signature ones, 14 from Enlightened Big Show and 10 from Lumberjack Big Show. And only 3 signatures used altogether, so that shows the Battlegrounds gear extremely powerful. So the team here was with Soldier John Cena, Ancient Druid Sheamus. Ancient Druid Sheamus dealt 25,000 damage and only took 4,000 damage. Soldier John Cena, 60,000 damage dealt, only 14,000 damage taken. So Swashbuckler Seth Rollins, 34,000 damage dealt, 8,710 damage taken, and 10 signatures blocked, 13 from Soldier John Cena, and just did not have the gas to finish off his team. So in the second defensive victory, we went up against Conqueror Brock Lesnar, Hound of Justice Roman Reigns, and Necromancer Undertaker. So here, 22,000 damage for Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt, quite a bit more, 7 signatures used. So Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt did hang on in this fight. Enlightened Big Show did hang on, and a lot less damage taken from Enlightened Big Show. Lumberjack pretty much took no damage. So this fight obviously took a lot less time, as was not able to deal with Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt. So a lot of damage dealt, and damage 12,000. Roman Reigns didn't even get to do any damage, so I guess he got wiped out by Bray Wyatt, probably with a level 1 or 2 move. And Necromancer Undertaker dealt 11,000 damage and took 15,000 damage. So in the third defensive victory, going up against Evolved Daniel Bryan, no Daniel Bryan, which is rather surprising, and the Necromancer Undertaker. So Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt only did 9,000 damage in this fight, took 23,000 as expected with no Daniel Bryan. If we focus on Bray Wyatt, you can knock him out. Now in this situation here, the Big Show took 25,000 damage and dealt 10 signatures, and 24,000 damage taken from Lumberjack, 10,000 damage dealt, and he KO'd 1. Enlightened Big Show KO'd 2 guys. So Evolved Daniel Bryan did 19,000 damage, took 9,000 damage, blocked 3 signatures, got KO'd. And no Daniel Bryan, 23,000 damage, and only took 6,000 damage, so ended up using 5 signatures, probably the KO from Bray Wyatt as expected from signature 2, as that's how you deal with Bray Wyatt. Now with the Necromancer Undertaker, 31,000 damage dealt, 13,000 damage taken. So almost 3 minutes to deal with Necromancer Undertaker, which just shows that the double Big Show is annoying as hell. And finally, our 4th defensive win was against all silver cards. Stone Cold, The Rock, and Sheamus, and he had to have been pissed off when he dealt with me. So 19,000 damage dealt from Icebound Watcher Stone Cold, no enemy knockouts. Used 1 signature and a finisher, and still could not get the job done. So 19,000 damage, 86 seconds, 6 signatures blocked, and 12,000 damage on the rocks. It looks like he got hit by a signature too, probably from either the Big Show or Bray Wyatt. And Sheamus lasted 56 seconds, 12,000 damage dealt, only used a signature 1. So how did I actually go about getting these defensive wins? As you see on Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt, I threw Wrestlemania gear on him for the simple fact that his health pool is pretty low. So he's not going to get much health from Enlightened Big Show. This way he has an extra way to heal. And I put on the Extreme Rules gear and Vince's microphone just to give Bray Wyatt some extra damage. Now with Enlightened Big Show, I actually used the Payback gear. That way when he uses the Hammer Fist, he actually pounds into the guy and has a chance to adrenaline drain, which can be annoying as hell. And then we threw on the Tactile Vest and the Battlegrounds gear, because Enlightened Big Show really doesn't need a way to heal. Now keep in mind, this was before I actually evolved the Battlegrounds gear. And Lumberjack Big Show, I gave him the big boots for a chance of unblockable attacks, which is very important because the Big Show is such a slow attacker. And I also threw on damage gear because he needs to have a way to do a little bit of damage. Keep in mind the specials aren't upgraded. If they were upgraded, they'd probably do double the damage, and I probably wouldn't have lost my 5th fight on defense, which you see right here. The only guy that was able to take me out was Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose, which is actually a very powerful card. You also have Jungle Ultimate Warrior to counter the healing and the big defense, so it actually looks like he didn't even need to use them. So the reason Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose is really good is because the Signature 2 can be used, and that can do a lot of damage, especially with basic damage gear. 51,000 damage dealt. So basically you use the Signature 2 move with Dean Ambrose. You can wipe anybody out when you're at his Lunatic Rage. And 8,000 damage taken. So basic attacks were not enough. And as you see here, Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt only lasted 28 seconds. Enlightened Big Show lasted 18 seconds as he took 19,000 damage. And Lumberjack Big Show took 17,000 damage. And Dean Ambrose is actually one of the better gold cards to use on offense because he has that stun combo ender. Even though it doesn't work on Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose is a very good card. He's one of the few that can actually counter the double Big Show. So a lot of you can cause flack on me for using double Big Shows, but you know what? Whatever it takes to get renown wins, do it. So that's like 13 or 14,000 renown. Next off, I'd also like to show off that Conqueror Brock Lesnar has been completed on Nightmare difficulty, and we will be uploading, hopefully Expert, even though I kind of butchered the dual broadcast of YouTube and Twitch for it. So part of it will be an OBS, part of it will be from Elgato. And here in our collection, we ended up getting an extra Conqueror Brock Lesnar because of the iOS patch 1.7 reset. I'd also like to take special note of the gear. Why we use certain gear and why it's important. The Ultimate Payback gear also gives reduction versus Signature 2 damage. This is critical when you're dealing with the double Big Shows because a lot of people are going to try to target out Enlightened Big Show. If you take less damage from Signature 2, that's going to allow your heals to go off more, and you're more than likely going to stay alive. Having this gear item is very important. Now, the Ultimate Wrestlemania gear is also really good because it gives you a chance to heal up. And this is especially important with Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt because he has a very low health pool, and Enlightened Big Show is not going to help him out a whole lot. So that's why we threw that on there. You also gain crit chance on Signature 1. You also gain Adrenaline Drain on Signature 1. So when your level 1s hit, they can crit, and that can kind of throw people off their game. What would normally not knock them out actually does. And I really wish they had replays because I would love to watch some of them. Chairman's Suit is also very important. While you don't get the Adrenaline Drain usually on defense, you do start with 1 to 2 bars when it's evolved, and 80% damage is really good. Now, the Ultimate Battleground I actually just evolved in the Nightmare difficulty, and I did run some tests with it. The heal team on Signature 1 is really powerful. It does not work on yourself. So that's why it's really good to put it on the Enlightened Big Show. You can also use the Macho Shades to kind of double up on Team Heal. That way Lumberjack and Enlightened Big Show can kind of heal each other when they come in, because with the Battlegrounds gear, you get a ton of adrenaline regen, and that's very important because that will fuel your level 1 move. So this is like one of the critical gear items to have on your guy. It's very important to have that. Next up, we have the Ultimate Extreme Rules, which is the best damage gear item in the game. It also gives you a way to heal if you're not doing a lot of damage from specials, like in multiplayer if you're taking a lot of hits. This can actually bring you back into the game by life stealing. Next up, we have the Ultimate Money in the Bank. This gear item really isn't that useful because you're not going to see a whole lot of use for it, but it's really good for farming as it gives you an extra chance to get credits after winning a match. I also took advantage of this when we had double credits. So instead of getting 500 credits, you get 1,000 credits, and now it becomes a little more significant. The unblockable and basic attack can be really good on cards like Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, anybody with like fast multi-hit combo enders, even evolved Daniel Bryan, because the difference between a block and an unblocked attack is really big. Next up, we have the SummerSlam gear, which I have been working on upgrading, which is a chance for reduced adrenaline costs for all signatures and finishers, adrenaline generation increase, and when you augment it, you get a damage boost to Signature 1, which does make it usable with Enlightened Big Show, along with the Payback gear and the Battlegrounds gear. If you have those 3 gear items on, you can do a lot of damage. You can adrenaline generate a ton. A very useful combination of gear, so that's why I work on the SummerSlam gear. Finally, we have the DX Invasion Truck, which probably will not see much use until it's actually upgraded. But even then, you're probably going to have to use it on Stephanie, along with the chairman suit. So I don't see this gear being that useful, although you probably could use it to try to snipe somebody right away with a finisher. Like somebody with higher damage, like Evolve Seth Rollins, you could probably wipe somebody out right away. I think it might be more devastating if they come in off the tag because they might expect it, but could be a nice little out to knock out their big guy, especially if you have one strong guy and two weaker guys, so could be pretty cool there. And a couple of honorable mentions. Obviously, the Tribal Warpaint is the best 2-star gear item in the game, fully upgraded, 50% damage boost to basic attacks, and 40% crit damage on bait, or crit damage when you crit. Before, it used to give crit chance and damage boost, so the sword was kind of ghetto, and this was actually still better. But with the crit boost, they actually made this item even better. Now, the Beast Fang with Batista, when Animal Batista actually gets a knockout, he has a 50% chance to heal on Signature 2. This gear item is actually very powerful because to heal on Signature 2 is really strong. So yeah, that could be really useful. Another good item is Futuristic Weaponry. If you use Swashbuckler Seth Rollins, along with Adrenaline Generation, you have a lot of ways to increase your speed, and you have a way to increase your damage. So that's kind of cool. Next up, we have the Macho Sunglasses, which a lot of people use, and you have a chance to disable enemy signatures, which can be very annoying when it actually goes off. And augmented, you can heal the team on Signature 1 as well. So, like, you would put this gear item on Lumberjack Big Show, and you put the Battlegrounds gear on Enlightened Big Show. Very annoying, very useful. And the Toma Dual Magics, the team can heal on Signature 2. This is like the only heal team that there is. So, unfortunately, it's on a pretty shitty card. So you won't see much play with that. And Win the Fans with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has a chance, actually everybody has a chance to heal self on Signature 2. So that does give you an out if you use a Chairman suit at 2 bars. Or any other weird combination like that. But those are the gear items. And the Champion's Helmet does have a small chance to heal on Signature 1. So you could use this as kind of an extra out, although you can't really rely on it because it's only 10%. So if you like this video showing how to win defensive battles as well as showing off all of my gear, the 4- and 5-star gear, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other WWE videos, my playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And if you think this is a pretty good defense team, please try it out. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!